Hi friends, and welcome to 3090. I'm sorry that this is not a very good first class to our spring semester, being that we've got a couple of inches of snow outside and classes were canceled. But I wanted to take a moment and say welcome, point out a few things on our D2L website and our LiveText website, and then get you started on your first project, and it's a group project. I think I mentioned it in the instructions that I left in the news here below, but I just wanted you to see it and be able to put a face with a name. I'm Dr. Gerald, and I'm going to be leading you through this course. And the course is really more of a survey class. It's not about one particular thing. So I wanted you to understand that we're covering a wide variety of things in this class. It's almost like an advanced version of Intro to Education, where we delve a little bit more into some more of the details. We're going to talk specifically about things that are elementary oriented, and almost all the projects and all the topics that I'm going to set with you are going to be related to elementary teaching. So think first in that. So the next thing I want to do here, I'm going to shrink my face down in the corner here and go to our D2L website. I've already logged in, and you see the announcement there, and this video is going to be placed right below where it says school is canceled for our first class in this black section here. And at 1 o'clock today, I'm going to be live online on an app called Periscope. And all you need is a free Twitter account name. You can go to twitter.com and sign up for a free Twitter account. Then you download the Periscope app for iPhone or an Android phone. And you can watch. You have to just search for my name, Dr. Joe Gerals, and I will be live between 1 and 1:30 to talk about class. And if you have any questions you can bring up, everybody can see it. You can text brief messages to me, things like that. So I wanted you to be able to see that and be able to use that, and we can at least have that first class, and I can get you started on your first project. I'm going to go back into the D2L page here and click on content, so I can show you here, at least the syllabus is also available here, as well as our class activities. You need to read through both of those. The class activities link will tell you a couple of things. In fact, it's important enough to where I'm going to open it up right now and just point out. Notice the ones that are green. These are classes where we're not going to officially meet as a class. You can meet with, this is when you're working on projects or when you're doing things like the online midterm. We won't actually come to our classroom unless you and your other group mates, when you're working on a research project, want to meet there, the library, down in our lab on the second floor, places like that where you can meet with your other mates on different things. And each group will be different each time. I'm going to scramble you with different people so that you can get to know your other classmates and learn more about this process of working with people you don't know well to produce an end product. I would like for you to store your research so I can see what everyone is doing in the discussions area right here in discussions, so that I can go there and look and see who's communicated what and who's done what. Oops, I've done too many things down here at once. Let me back it up here. Go back into our class. So this schedule tells us pretty much of what's going on, and read through there. You can see there everything that's green is when we don't meet as a class, but you will be able to meet as a group or work on things on your own on projects. So we're actually going to physically meet well, not counting today, next Wednesday, and then we're off, and then the Wednesday again. So there's 1, 2, 3 times, and then we do midterms, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and then we have finals. So it's not exactly every other Wednesday, but I tried to at least keep it that way, and it gives you time that is dedicated to class time when you should be working on whatever project thing that you're working on, and your other classmates or your other group mates will also be off at that period of time, so they will be free to be able to meet with you. It's not an excuse where you can't get together, but you don't necessarily have to meet exactly in our classroom. So anyway, that's the beginning of it. Read through and see where we're going to start. And one of the first things we're going to do is a quick survey through education history to see what the influences of people from hundreds of years ago, and whether they're still at work in the classroom or not, and how and why. I think that's important that you know the why and the who started things, like who decided to teach the alphabet from A and then go to Z, or to start teaching vowels first, or things like that. Who was the person who set curriculum of what you teach in first grade and second grade and third grade? Somebody back there had to sit down and say, What part of math are we going to teach first? We're going to teach addition or subtraction or multiplication or division, and at what point do we introduce those new concepts? I think that's important for you to at least see that there's actually a person behind that. And so now I'm going to go back into our main course files in D2L here, and there's a link that I have placed. We actually have a live text web page that has the majority of our information on it, and instead of you having to log into live text every time you want to go through there, you can go into D2L and click this link that will go directly to that page. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to click on that link, and hopefully that page will load. There it is. Oops, got to go back to the top. I will put new announcements in there, and that's where I have put announcements about today. And basically, it tells you the instructions of what to do about getting ready for our next week's class. Is go to our live text page and look at this first section, Module 1, Part 1, and read the instructions there. Then do the research for your particular group. I've already divided you up into groups, and I'll show you it's just below. Choose a person that's going to help put together the presentation. But I'd like for everybody in the group to have some part in the actual presentation. This is a chance for you to actually practice your teaching. So do that. And then also signed up. I see that several of you have already signed up for the Remind service. This is something where I can send a quick tweet message to you. So everybody do that. Then if you want to see me live and we can interact live, I want you to go on to download Periscope and load that up today, so that at 1 o'clock we can actually interact some, and I can answer any questions that you have at this point. Periscope you can get from the App Store for Androids or for Apple phones. I have the syllabus also loaded here, as well as the class activity schedule and the invitation to join the Remind service, so that's there. I have another class that meets on Mondays that hasn't met yet. These are the files for them, and that doesn't apply to you guys. So here begins Module 1, and I put some faces up here to just make you stop and think, who are these people and why do I feel it's important for us to look at them through education? So look through some of those people. In fact, I even put a link here about this gentleman right here. His last name is Pestalozzi. He will be important, and somebody in one of your different groups is going to run across him, and I want you to teach the rest of us what's important about this guy and why should we know about what he did. Then here are the basic detailed instructions for Module 1, Part 1. And it says, the number 6 here says, present your results in a short 10 to 15 minute presentation, and we'll cover all 7 areas next Wednesday. And I want you to post your timeline, which looks like a piece of paper like this, and your fact sheet, which is sort of a cheat sheet. And I want you to just put the very basic information. If you were putting together a sheet to study for a praxis test, for example, what important information would you want to put on that fact sheet? Don't make it too long, because it would be the kind of thing that you'll look and go, that's too much reading, I don't want to fool with that. Just a couple of sentences to remind you about what each of the important people did, or the important events, and why they were important to education. So put that together, and I call it the fact sheet there. I need a printed copy of the fact sheet when you come to do our presentations. That's the only thing I need, is the copy of that fact sheet and your timeline, a printed copy of that. Your presentation, you can have that loaded up on discussions, where you can download it and present it in class. In fact, here are the groups. Group 1, for example, is set to look into Europe and Western Asia up to 1800. That's a long time ago. And I'm encouraging you to go back to Socrates and find what those guys did. And they're asked questions like, what important part did Italy play in the development of educational practices? Germany, even Sweden. And how did the Catholic Church influence education? So do some research on it. Find just the important things, or the important people, and tell us about them and what they did, and say whether or not that's still at work in our classrooms today. Group 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are listed here, and here is the listing of the names of the people, so you can find your group. There's Group 1 in yellow there, Group 2 in white, Group 3 in yellow, Group 4, and so on. Find your classmate there, and if you don't know these people, send them an email. This is their email address on the side here. All you have to do is add @my.apsu.edu and send them an email. Or if you have their text number, then you can go ahead and send them a text about that. We're going to present this next week in class. I even have the guidelines here, my rubric of how I'm going to grade your presentations and your project work. Even though it's a group project, because I will see what each person from the group has contributed, but I want to see what a good presentation that you can do where you can teach the rest of the class how you've become an expert in that little time period there. So that's really basically what I wanted to do, is welcome you and get you started on this first thing here. I'm going to go back into D2L and show you where most of this should be placed. I'm going to go into D2L into discussions. Let that open up. See, here's where you can put your information right here. There's Europe and Western Asia, group 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 right there. So all you have to do is be able to load up your information in there, and I can see what each person in the group contributed to the group's research in there. So you can meet and go with that, and we'll start from there. And I apologize, but I'm not in charge of the weather. And we can talk more next week, but hopefully I will see some of you online on Periscope at 1 o'clock today. Good luck. Thanks.